Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to recap some of the new additions to the collection. So starting off with a little bit of baseball, a very inexpensive 93 Classic A-Rod 4-sport. Most of his rookie cards are from 94. Here's one I kind of debated getting for a while because I wanted an Edgar Martinez. I like Edgar, I'm a big Mariners fan. And this is his rookie card from 88 Donruss, the rookie set, but it's not his image. I think this is of Edwin Nunez. So I was kind of like, well, it's not even a picture of him. But at the end of the day, it is Edgar Martinez's card, just the wrong photo. And yeah, I guess a spring training photo where they just got it mixed up with the two. I mean, they both have the, I guess they might, I don't know. Blame Donruss for that one, but kind of an interesting card, uncorrected error. Here's a Donruss rookies set from '87, the Mark McGwire, an inexpensive slab, an older SGC slab where they don't list the newer ones have it as an 8, and then the new black slab, very different than that, but very inexpensive. A couple inexpensive baseball card pickups. Another card that I was able to get a really good deal on was this 74 Nate Thurman. So Thurman is a Hall of Famer, just a dominant center from back in the day. My last video, I highlighted a 71 Thurman that I got. And so there was a buy it now one for this 74. I put it in my saved history to think about it. And then I was thinking I'm going to buy it tomorrow if I get up and it's still there. And got up, there was there, and the seller had given me a best offer, so it was a no-brainer. And we were able to pick that up in a really cool card because it shows him, you can see a full body shot of him as opposed to like some of the headshots that you'll see from 74 Topps. This one is a great example of what GMA slabs are good for, right? This 1990 Skybox Sean Kemp rookie. Not an important card to me, not necessarily an important card to the hobby, but one I'm glad to have in a slab. And GMA does a really good job of providing you that option for a cheap, inexpensive slab for a card that really wouldn't be cost effective to grade with some of the other more name brand grading companies. He's hitting a jumper over James Worthy. Remember that Skybox. This tells a very important story about the development of cards. And Skybox was what Upper Deck was to baseball in '89. 90 Skybox was that to basketball cards, and so has quite a lineage and was revolutionary as a basketball card collector in 1990. It was a revolutionary set. Kind of blew my mind after the dull Fleer productions that were being put out that are so popular now, oddly enough. Stadium Club 97, Tracy McGarrett rookie, and 8.5. Have it in a PSA 8. And picked it up in a BGS holder. Probably thought it was a good deal. All right, let's look at a little football vintage from my Staubach collection. This is 1979. You can see they still don't have the cowboy logos on those helmets. Very clean card for a 6. The centering is a little bit off, but I think what the problem is some print defects here, a little bit of black ink there and there. Other than that, the card would probably be a much higher grade just because it's razor sharp. It's pack fresh, as you would say. So cool card. All right, so story behind this. First Michael Vick card of the collection. And to quote somebody who's been a big influencer for the things I purchase in my collecting, Elite Co 3, if you've ever watched his channel, he's a seller on eBay as well. And he calls it the mandatory, or AKA in his video showing a mandatory Michael Vick card. I've used Alico 3 as a great guide, if you will, to help me figure out kind of like if I want to be an investor, where I would want to get, what kind of guys I'd want to pick up. Because he's got that knack for finding the undervalued, out-of-sight players who are going to be Hall of Famers. And he loads up on that stuff before it gets popular. And he's got, like I said, a great eye for the hobby. He's one of those cardboard millionaires. He just recently did a showcase on his LeBron James collection, and that thing is well worth more. It's probably worth over $500,000+ just on that. And he's got some amazing other collections as well. And he's got an amazing Griffey collection as well as others. But just kind of a guy that I've used as a great resource. And so give him a shout out. This Michael Vick is actually numbered. I didn't even know that. That was numbered to 2,499. Probably just goes to show you they weren't producing quite as much stuff in 2001 as they were in like the early 90s. Speaking of the early 90s, this Junior Seau score supplement. First card in a Chargers uniform, not his first score card. He had a card in that 90s score regular. They produced that 90 score like they were like printing money, man. There's so many of those cards. The supplemental, I believe, is much rarer. All right, here's a card of a guy that you can get right now, and it's just criminal how cheap his stuff is. I think I was in just a little over 20 bucks on this refractor, and just a beautiful refractor. The thing to note, 2012 Topps, I don't think they really produced a whole lot of it. I know I started collecting back in 2011, and there just weren't a lot of people out there collecting. I mean, there was nobody on YouTube showcasing their collections hardly at all. I mean, I tell people I collect a sports card, they look at me like I had cancer or something. They're like, something was wrong with me. Nowadays, it's so much more mainstream. They produce so much more stuff. And Luck is a guy that, when it's all said and done, will be considered one of the best quarterbacks to play the game, in my opinion. And right now, his stuff is dirt cheap. I mean, dirt cheap. It's all about what you've done for me lately. But pick this up for, like I said, just a little over 20 bucks. I don't know how you can go wrong with that. All right, another little side project here. I do have some Brett Favre. Figured, hey, he is an elite quarterback that does not get a love. He's won a championship, multiple MVPs, yet his card sales don't reflect his accomplishment. That being said, there's a lot of this 91 Stadium Club out there, like a lot. And so truly a junk wax era card. But if 89 Upper Deck King Griffey Jr. tells us anything, it's greatness can overcome that. So I've picked up a few of these because I had none of them, and I figured I want to pick up a couple of them. So there's two. I think I got those from the same seller. I got this from another seller. Another one. Price point in between 35 to 40 bucks on these. And then from a Probstein auction, I got the 8.5 and the SGC holder, and this SGC 9.5, and I have to admit, I overpaid on this one. And it's a classic case of when I put the bid in, I was like, ooh, I don't think I should have bid that much. And I was kind of hoping someone would outbid me, but it didn't happen. And leaves to be the question, right? The thing is, a PSA 10 of this sells for around $600. And I got this for a little over $100. And I'm like, an SGC 9.5, right? What does it really mean? Is it comparable to a BGS 9.5? I would say no. That's Jim Mint, and those usually sell a little less than a PSA 10, depending on the subgrades. But I just don't know on this. Could you crack this out and get a PSA 10? I suppose you could. There's probably not a lot wrong with it with a 9.5 holder. But at the end of the day, the resale value for this is nowhere near PSA or even BGS. But hey, it's a really clean card, and like I said, I've been trying to pick up some of these Favre cards for the collection, and there you go. All right, an ungraded card from the Ionix. I believe this is the 98 Ionix King Griffey Jr. You can tell down here, it's numbered to 750. This is kind of, it's bled a little bit, the ink. So otherwise, the card is in excellent shape. No issues with it on the surface or corners and edges look clean. I put a best offer in on this, and the seller agreed, and I got the card. And I paid about half the price that you'd probably pay for this, maybe even a little less than half. So don't know how it would grade, but I don't have an intention of sending it to grading company. I just wanted it for the collection to go with his twin brother here, this A-Rod. This one is super clean. Doesn't have the issues with the bleeding. You can see how it would look if it wasn't bleeding like this. See how that looks compared to that. Yeah, that's pretty bad. But only 750 of these made, so a low print run for late 90s. And the reciprocal. It's kind of got a refractor finish to it. Another really tough pull. This one from 2000 Upper Deck Ionix. Just an amazing card. I think these are about one in every 50-something odd packs. And there's quite a couple in the set. I think a set of 10 maybe. The Griffey is really popular and expensive in this. So I picked up the A-Rod for just a couple bucks. I don't know how you can go wrong with that, considering A-Rod is arguably be one of the best hitters of his generation, if ever, you know, PEDs aside. All right, I picked this up from the seller in a lot, kind of an inexpensive lot. I just wanted this card, the Skybox EX Exceptional. Trying to build that set. So a nice little Steve Francis card for that collection. Boy, what happened to Francis? Just one of the best young players in the game, and his life took a downward spiral, and I don't think he's ever recovered. But that's a really cool card. They had it a lot and had this Chrome rookie. It's got some damage to it, and then the Victory, Ultimate Victory. Could care less about these. I was all about that. Another interesting find from a Probstein auction here. This Derek Fisher Skybox Premium 1996 rookie. That's exactly how it was listed. Did not mention any that it was a parallel of the rubies. So you've got the red emblem here and the red writing up. So a pretty rare piece. I think someone's got one of these in a 7, a gem at 7 or PSA 7 for about $250, and I paid about $6 for this. I think primarily because it was just improperly listed, and took advantage of that. Clearly, people knew that it was a ruby. As if this was his regular card, it would not come near the $6 that you get it for 99 cents all day. But at the end of the day, I think a lot less people were looking at it and looking for it because the improperly listed. All right, here we go. I know we're going a little long, but this is the highlight of the day. Kind of a card I've been looking for I want to say about 7 or 8 months, ever since I picked up some of these in Peyton Manning's. I got 3 Peyton Manning Rose Zeros back in the spring, and I've been looking at a Woodson and trying to find that and get a Moss as well. I have not seen a lot of Woodsons out there. It is a tough card to find, and maybe just because people haven't graded it. I think there's only like 8 PSA slabs of it graded, and a few BGS. Don't know the numbers on the BGS, but this is a 9.5. It's got a Surface 9. Everything else is 9.5 subgrades. I don't think it really matters to me. Would I rather have it in a PSA 9? Yeah, I would rather. I'd snap this all day and get a PSA 9. But will I? No, I'm not. I don't play the snap and resubgrade. It's just not my style. I'm content here. It's 30 out of 500, but I'm really excited to have it. I need the Randy Moss now, but it's I think that ship might have sailed. The seller had this for $400 or best offer, and I went through the process of giving a new best offer every day for about 5 days in a row, and maybe I just wore the seller down, and they were just like, okay, dude, just take the card. I got it for $350. So very pleased with that price, and having it at hand, I'm super excited and glad that I ponied over the $350 for it. Well worth it to me, as I love these the design for these Rose Zeros from 1998. And then 1997 basketball as well, same design. But cool stuff. Once again, everybody, appreciate your posts, your comments. I'll talk to you again soon.